Spelling in English is hard, but why is the English language tougher than some of its linguistic cousins? Well, first, English is a bit of a hodgepodge, a mix of words from German, French, Latin, and Greek. While Spanish and Japanese have regular patterns and rules for spelling, English tends to be a bit of a rebel. There are rules, but there always seem to be exceptions, as anyone knows who had to memorize that I before E except after C, or when sounding like A as in neighbor or way. Also, while English has 26 letters, there are 44 different speech sounds, meaning some letters have more than one sound, plus different letter combinations make the same sound sometimes. Just think about the words meet and meat. And don't even get me started on silent letters. So all this adds up to making English tough for spellers and makes what the kids do at the Script Spelling Bee do even more impressive. With the Y, I'm Stephanie Whitfield for H-Town Rush.